Good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing? Is everyone doing well? Good. Can you hear us okay online? Awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, welcome to our monthly VMFA meeting. My name is Brooke Dickhart, and I am the Executive Director of the Joel Fund. We help organize these meetings, and this month we are going to be talking about veteran social enrichment, and we are going to specifically discuss social enrichment activities for females and female veterans. And I specify between the two because a lot of the activities are also for family members and caregivers. So we are really looking forward to this discussion. What I would like to start off with, just to review our mission and objectives. Our mission of the VMFA is to strengthen the local veteran and military community. And our objectives are to identify gaps, opportunities, and barriers in service to improve service for veterans and military families. We work to coordinate information on services for veterans and military families. And we educate veterans, military families, and community advocates on community based efforts and suicide prevention. So welcome everyone. And what we'll do first is start with introductions. We're going to go around the room. Please tell us your name, what organization you're representing, and if you're a veteran, please let us know what branch of the military you served in. I always forget to say this, but my connection to the military, my dad was in the Navy. And all the work that we do is in his honor. So I'm going to let Paul Berry go next.
No trivia question?
No, that's the coffees.
No, that's fair. I was gonna say.
I have to make them different.
I was gonna say, okay, Paul Berry, 30-year Marine Corps veteran with Veterans Bridge Home and help run the NC Serves program here. And hey, Bill Dixon, Brooke actually let me eat something other than crayons. I come here and she fed me, so. Thank you.
I'm Jessica Stremo. I run Back in the Saddle Equine Services for Heroes. I am a civilian, but we founded this organization so that we could give back to those who have served.
I'm Antonio Bird, 20-year Marine veteran. I'm the market community coordinator for Veterans Bridge Home.
I'm Victoria Knott. I work with North Carolina National Guard Employment Center as an employment counselor. And I did not serve, but many family members, including my dad, served.
I'm Brenda Brubaker, Navy from 71 to 76. I am a member of Vietnam Veterans of America, but today I'm representing Traingle Women Veterans.
Thank you.
I am Natalie Cupid. I'm with NC Works. I'm an Army veteran, and I also head up Female Veteran Table Talk.
Yay. And I love your accent.
Oh, thank you.
I'm Isabella Brezenski. I'm the Operation Art Program Manager for here at the Joel Fund, and my dad is a 20-year Army veteran.
Fantastic. Jill?
Hi, I'm Jill Blakeney. I was a career reservist and retired after 23 years. I served as an enlisted in the Navy and retired as commissioned officer from the Army Reserve. What else did you want me to talk about? Oh, I'm the executive director and founder of Mustangs and Patriots project. We are a recreational activity for veterans and their families. And this year we started seeing first responders as well through the Thrive program. And it is at no cost to the families.
Wonderful. Yesenia?
Hi, everyone. I am a 24-year Marine Corps veteran. I am also a mom of Air Force, Army, also my daughter's Army Reserves. Gosh, I have extended family like brothers-in-laws and so forth, also military nephews. So really big military family. I work for Hire Heroes USA. I am a federal program specialist specializing in federal employment.
Thank you. Bill, I love your shirt, by the way.
Thank you. I thought you'd like it. Give me a take.
Oh.
This is Tank. That's what everybody wanted to see anyway. Before I start, Brooke, I'll tell you, yesterday a man walked up to me in the store and he said, "Thank you for your service." And even now it still kind of bothers me a little bit. And I got talking to him a little bit. He says, "You know, I wanted to be in the military, but I couldn't. So I joined the Air Force."
Yes.
Bill Dixon, United States Army, Vietnam 67, 68. Let's see, I represent SEAL Vietnam Veterans of America. Brenda is a member of everything down there. And also Vets to Vets United. We take service dogs and save veterans. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Grant?
Hey everybody, good afternoon. My name is Grant Smith, 11-year Navy veteran, and I was invited here today by Siobhan Norris. So I'm interested, glad to be here, and excited to learn a bit more about what y'all do here.
Welcome, thank you. Mariana?
Hi. Yes, I'm here representing Roger, also known as Stop Soldier Suicide. We provide suicide-specific care for veterans and active duty members free of cost. I work in the resourcing department, so help connect veterans and our wellness coordinators with any resources that people might need. So I'm just here to learn more about that.
Thank you. Appreciate you joining us. Randy?
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Randy Silver. I'm a Veterans Employment Representative with NC Works. I'm a Army retiree, and I'm just glad to be here with you all this afternoon.
Thanks, Randy. Okay, so what I would like to do, I'm just going to lead the discussion with some questions. I will randomly call on you. But what I would like for you first to do is to explain your role and how you work with veterans. And Brenda, I know you wear many hats in this space. So if you'll start and, talk about how you interact with the Traingle Women Veterans Group.
Okay. Typically, when we go out and speak, we get like half hour, 45 minutes, and we give the history of women veterans. Because a lot of people don't realize that women veterans go back to Queen Anne in this country. And
that's your
the presentation that I have goes all the way back. It talks about the Revolutionary War, the War of 1812, the two World Wars, the Spanish-American War. Did you know that 1,200 women nurses were enlisted in the Spanish-American War? And they came back, and the only way they were honored was by a dinner, and they were never given veteran rights. So it's things like that we can talk about as far as history. If you're looking at Traingle Women Veterans, we were initially Waves National. Waves National started when 3 women got together for coffee up in the DC area and said, "This is fun." The men won't let us into any organization. We like to have fun, and we like to get together and just talk. So it started as a social group. About that same time, 3 women in North Carolina got together. And so Gladys Dimmick out of Chapel Hill, and Norma Snyder out of Cary, and Betty Plotkin out of Raleigh got together. They were 3 retired Navy individuals and said, "Hey, they're doing this in DC. Why don't we do it here?" Mm-hmm. So they started a chapter here in the Triangle area. One started up in the mountains, one started at the beach, one started at Fayetteville, about that same time. All of those have merged into one. So we're now Triangle Women Veterans. We decided back before COVID that we were tired of being an exclusive group and we wanted to be an inclusive group. So we opened up membership both nationally and locally to any woman veteran, any woman who has served. The bylaws say something about honorably, but we don't look at your DD 214 to consider what kind of discharge you've had. So if you've got a DD 214 and you can show it in front of us, you're a member. Now, as a nurse, I like to put Band-Aids on boo-boos, right? I like to fix things and I like to give advice. This particular group can do that, and we have times when we do that, but we like the social activities as well. So besides being a veteran service organization and do the typical things that veteran service organizations do, volunteering in the community, raising funds for certain things, we also like to go out and have fun. Now, what some of the members consider fun and what I consider fun might be 2 different things. But if you like to hang from ropes out of trees, If you like to shoot guns, if you like to visit the VA, if you like to do arts and crafts, if you like to do one of those things where you bring your own wine and paint a picture like somebody else does, we do all those things at every other meeting. So at least once every quarter, we have a business meeting, we get serious, we do serious things. One of the activities that we've had recently is we take grocery bags and we cut them into strips and we make yarn out of them and we crochet the mats that they use for the homeless.
That's how that was done.
So those things that MMIA hands out. as part of their
You make
grants,
those?
We help make.
Oh, that's great.
That's great.
So it's, and we've got one of those coming up where we all get together, so we can be social. We can have our coffee or whatever we're going to have about St. Patrick's Day. We can cut our bags and we can crochet. So there are things like that we do, but we like to do the social and we like to do veteran service kinds of things. And it's a women's group, so whatever is said within that group stays within that group. We do a lot of talking about military sexual trauma or other sexual traumas. We do a lot of talking about how hard it is for women to get out of the military, even now, not only 50 years ago. So there are all sorts of things that can happen just around the table, nothing formal.
Awesome. Natalie, I'm gonna kind of put the same thing to you. I mean, give us a little bit of an idea of, you know, what the work is that you do and how the female veteran table talk was handed to you and what your plans are with it.
Okay, my actual job, I'm a DBOP. I cover Lee, Chatham, and Harnett County. And we help veterans remove barriers. Disabled Veteran Outreach Program Specialist.
Thank you.
We help to veterans remove barriers to employment. So we work heavily with veterans experiencing homelessness, justice involved veterans, recently transitioned veterans, age priority, be it Vietnam veterans or 24 and under. We do a lot of like connecting the dots for them. How I got handed Female Veteran Table Talk was my mentor at NC Works was Liz Sacido. She has been an amazing support system and just an inspiration to me for the longest time. So when she moved on, it went to different places. And then when I came on as a DBOP to NC Works, it was Gabby gave it to me like a few months ago. So still kind of finding my feet a little bit, but what we like to do is try and bring women together to have just kind of how you were saying about discussions, a safe space. We want to have speakers who touch on things like military sexual trauma, and I'm actually working with an ex-JAG attorney who heals through yoga. So we're going to actually do a presentation. We're going to do a session. We're going to be virtual as well as in person, just so that female veterans have a safe space. It's hard enough sometimes being in the military, but being a female and experiencing certain things, we've all been through certain things when we were in. So it's nice to bring everyone together in a safe space so that we can talk and we can be social and we can still get some work done as well. So I've got some plans. One of them, I want to do some social events like how you guys do, like a sip and paint, and I'm artsy crafty. That's my happy place. Like I power tools as well. That's me. So you'll find, if you see my garage, you'll be like, oh, that's yours, not your husband's? Yeah, it's mine. So, but I just want us to have a good social interaction, but I also want us to be able to hit the issues, but in a safe space. Because I think being in a safe space and being able to speak about things and knowing it's not going to go outside the room is just so much peace and comfort. So that's my role. I'm still finding my feet. But within about the next month, we do want to do some sessions and just get involved and do more for the community.
Thank you. I'm gonna have Isabella go next, and then Jill, we'll pop over to you online too. But if you, Isabella, I know personally what you do here at the Joel Fund with our female veterans, but if you'll kind of explain how it came to be as you're talking through what it is that we offer.
Sure. So Operation Art as a whole, is one of the Joel Fund's programs serving veterans and their families. Specifically, we offer low-cost art classes to veterans, active duty service members, family members, including spouses and adult children, and veteran caregivers. So that wide range, that group of folks are invited to take many different art classes here in our studio across the hall, virtually online, or in one of our partnership locations in the Wake County area. So, or specifically for our women only classes, they transpired because about over a year ago, I was noticing that a handful of classes had one person would attend one class and then they would not return, and that person happened to be a woman in a roster in a class that was primarily men, and she was the only woman. So I reached out and I said, hey, I just wanted to check in, like, if you really didn't like the class, I'd love to hear some feedback, or if anything, just checking in. And it happened to be that at least one or two of those women got back to me and said, nothing happened. I just walked into the room and it was all men and I did not feel comfortable, so I left. And that was really good feedback for me to hear. Just because not only as a woman that could be the case regardless of background, but especially for military veteran women. So around the same time, I received an application from an instructor wanting to teach with us. And she was a female veteran, and it was like a light bulb. Oh my goodness, here is the thing that's coming together. So I worked with Grace McFetters Caldwell. She's an Army veteran who is located in the Triad area, but she drives in every week during sessions to teach fiber arts to women only classes. So the classes are women only, meaning there could be within our the population that Operation Art serves. So we could have a handful of veterans and sisters and wives all together who are taking a class together. So we have offered a fiber arts sampler where folks can learn a little bit each week, a little different fiber arts things. So whether it's knitting, needle felting, weaving, those are some examples of fiber arts. We've expanded into sewing, textile collage, which is instead of collaging with magazines or collaging with fabric. And many more to come. So that is kind of an example of one of our classes, and specifically being for women only.
Thank you. Jill?
Need fabric? Yes.
I would love for you to kind of talk about the work that you do. But also and I know this is Traingle Women Veterans event, but since you're hosting it, to talk about the event on April 27th also.
That's a Traingle and Veterans event? When
Oh,
did
I
that-
thought it was.
That's a Jill event.
Oh, it's yours. I'm so sorry. Well, Jill, talk about your event, please.
Brenda, you're doing all the work. I'm coming as a participant this year.
I'm so sorry.
So this was actually, Brenda was kind of poking me for a couple years to do a women only event for women veterans. And last year we decided to do it. And I had no idea what was going to come of it, but we got together, we had a manicurist, we had somebody with fairy hair. Of course, we got the Mustangs for either just petting or grooming or painting or riding or whatever you want to do with them. Some of them do tricks. We have a hayride, and we brought in drums for change and also a belly dancer to give a belly dance class. And we filled up, I mean, within, Brenda, you put Eventbrite out, we filled all 25 seats probably within 2 weeks. Does that sound? And we had a really good turnout, and the feedback we got was it's nice to get together women veterans. They felt safe, they love the country, they like being with people that have similar experiences that they can share with, and they wanted to come back and do it again. So here we are, year 2, and we're going to do it again, change it a little bit. I talked to Isabella at the art show and asked if she would come out and do an art class, because I thought that'd be something different we could do this year and nice. And she agreed to do so. So it'll be kind of the same format, just a little bit different things. But the big thing is, it's all about the woman veteran. You come and do as much as you want or as little as you want. If you just want to sit around, drink coffee and talk all day, knock your socks off. There's no pressure to do anything. Brenda, what did I miss? I mean, it's just.
So tell a little bit about what you do for veterans when it's not Women's Day there.
Yeah.
It's kind of the veteran will let us know what they want to do. I don't have a plan. You come in, you do this, you do this. I come in and say, what do you want to do? And so if they say they want to just brush a horse, they brush a horse. If they want to learn to ride, they learn to ride. If they want to just walk the path across the street through the woods, we walk the path across the street through the woods. Sometimes we end up in my vegetable garden, you know, it's whatever they want to do. I let the veteran pick what it is we do that day.
She even lets them muck the stalls.
No, the stalls are usually done if they get there later in the day, but if they come first in the morning, yeah, they're gonna muck stalls with me. But yeah, we just kind of
Don't go early. Don't go
let the
early.
veteran choose what they want to do. And it's all about having fun and being safe.
Jill, can you share the link to this event? Do you have a link for people?
I do. As a matter of fact, I've already cut and copied it. Let me go to the chat.
Awesome.
And I will.
And I'll also put it in the follow-up email.
Okay.
Jill, I'm very sorry that I misspoke there.
Oh,
so.
no. That was fun. I'm glad you did. Yeah. Enjoy having a chance to rib Brenda.
So one other event that I would like to talk about, and I might tap on Paul to talk a little bit about this also, but Laura Happer with Veterans Bridge Home has started a Women Veterans Coffee and Conversations in the Triad, and it has been very successful, so they're bringing it to the Triangle. So it's a monthly event, and for women veterans, spouses, and supporters to come together in a safe and welcoming environment to connect with each other and learn about resources. They will have, at the Triad, when they've been doing it at the Triad, they'll have an array of providers and leadership from the VA, and they've seen a lot of success in connecting the women to resources. And just to provide, again, you know, common theme, that environment to have a safe discussion and to talk about topics, and so that they can feel supported by this community. And Humana and Veterans Bridge Home will be hosting it, and the first one will be at the Humana Neighborhood Center located at 4430 Fayetteville Road in Raleigh. And it's going to be on March 29th from 1 to 3. So all of that information will be included in the follow-up email. But I love to hear about all these things that are starting to happen that have this focus, because it's so important. I mean, when Liz started the Female Veteran Table Talks before COVID, we got to go to those, and I was honored because I'm not a veteran, but I was allowed to be in that room with them. And the last one before COVID, I think there were over 50 women there.
Crazy.
Yes, and so there's a need, and I love to see all the different things that are going on. But one question I have is do you also allow family members? I'll put this out to everyone. Can spouses, can the caregivers, if they're females, be there? You know, children or siblings, or is it just the veterans?
So for the Women Veterans Morning with the Mustangs, we let a caregiver or a child or a spouse come if they needed help. That was the thing. Some of the veterans we had one veteran that was having difficulty walking. Another veteran was undergoing cancer treatment. So they needed somebody there to help them. And we said yes, because it was more important to have them there than having, the head count go up too high. So we say yes. And even when we're not doing an event like that, it's always geared for the families, the veteran and their families, however they define that.
We haven't discussed that yet. I don't have a problem with spouses coming, but I think we want to start with just the veterans and then we grow. I have to talk with Gabby and the rest of the committee to see where their heads are with that, but I don't have a problem with that.
Because I know people will ask, so I just like to be able to bring. And Isabella, you want to address again what you had said for the classes?
Yes, so Operation Art classes, and including the women-only fiber arts classes, are open to military-connected individuals, and the women's only are specifically for women.
Okay.
So Triangle Women Veterans are specifically for women, but our chauffeurs come with us. Better known as our husbands and significant others. And when we have our meetings or when we have discussions or whatever, they're invited to go out somewhere else. We'll often meet at a restaurant or at a business, and there'll be an extra room so that all the guys can get together and talk about whatever guys talk about. while we're talking about, what's them talking about?
But then is that for your social activities? Are your meetings just the?
Primarily for the meetings, but it's the same for social activities, like when they went to the gun club and we're shooting, the guys can go into a different stall while the women are having fun together.
Nice. I will also say, because this just occurred, but someone registered for the women only class and asked if her husband, who is also her caretaker, could come, and I said he's welcome to spend time in this room where we're currently in our community room while the class across the hall is happening, so that the class will stay for women only. But if any caretaker or a spouse is wanting to come or needing to come to drop them off or anything like that, then they're welcome to spend time in this community room during class time.
Yeah, well, same with the coffee that we're
Okay.
gonna do. It's
Yeah.
initially, the focus is for women veterans, but I think it'll quickly grow to military connected for sure. Because it's the experience particularly of like family members and spouses, there's
Yes.
some intense experiences in there over the years. And our first, speaker is from the Durham VAs, Jamie Upchurch, if anybody knows Jamie from the women's program, so. We picked a rock star to kick it off. Jamie's amazing, so.
Love
thank
it.
you.
Bill, I see you have
Brooke.
your hand raised. Yes.
Going back to Jill just real quick. Those horses out there are the best counselors a veteran can get.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a horse, it's a big thing, but just going out and communing with the horse by itself, brushing it or talking to it is one of the best counseling services a veteran can have. It's very relaxing. Like I said, they're great counselors. They don't talk back, they just listen.
And she lives out in the middle of nowhere, so you've got that peace.
Yes, they have to pipe the sunlight in just so you'll be able to see.
I love it. Before I ask the next question, Chris, I see that you've joined us. So if you have any programming with Team Red, White, and Blue that is women only, please share that. Not to put you on the spot, but I haven't heard of one before, but if there's something I'm missing or anyone in the group, please feel free to share if there's something else that is relative to this conversation that we should know about. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, so we don't have any women veteran specific events. Usually that's one of our big things is it's extremely inclusive. So families, are always welcome at our events. So that's kind of like been our drumbeat. So, and that's what, we love about collaborate, don't compete. So, we have so many other people doing specific things and we kind of just do it in a different direction. So.
Gotcha. Well, I just wanted to make sure that everyone knew we could, you don't have to be a part of the panel to add into the discussion. So thanks, Chris. I just saw a thing that popped up in my newsfeed about a women's marathon that they're doing in Savannah, Georgia. And I was like, that is so cool. Like, I don't know why it's cooler because it's all females, but I'm like, if I could run a marathon still, I would be in that. Those days are long gone. But what's the protocol for, for a woman to access these events and these services? I know like Jill put her link there. I know you'll have
Right now it's my email
registration,
address,
yes.
but we're gonna have flyers, sign-ups. We're rebranding right now, so we got a lot of new things to put out, but definitely we're gonna use a lot more social media. We're gonna do more streaming events, a newsletter. We have a lot of plans to put into place, so it's exciting.
Yeah.
But for right now, it would be my email address, and I can share that.
Yeah, perfect. And Brenda, how does someone join the Traingle Women Veterans Group?
So again, we have a webpage, we have a Facebook page that's much more active, and a little bit skewed. So, veterans tend not to follow very straight lines with Facebook, and that helps. I will give you a copy of our application form. And again, we need a DD 214 just like anybody else, or some proof that you've actually served.
ID card? I get that a lot.
Yeah, whatever happens to be the current,
Okay.
like the National Guard don't always get DD 214s, but, and it's also, hits all the C services. So if you're looking at the people that do the shipping, that's also considered a uniform service. So, you know, there's, but I'll give you a copy, an electronic copy of the application as well. We meet in different locations. We tend to meet more out of the Cary area because our membership is spread so far. We've got people in Greensboro, we've got people in, Virginia, not Virginia, in South Carolina. We've got people in Fayetteville, so you know, we try to be somewhere centrally located. But, you know, we like it, hey, if you've got a restaurant that's willing to provide a space for a dinner, we like to do that too. So we meet all over the place.
Is the Facebook group open?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, all you have to do, in fact, if you do TWV, Triangle Women Veterans, that usually opens up that.
Yeah, I follow. I follow.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I actually went to one of your lunches or dinner. You remember years ago.
Yeah,
Like
one of our speakers.
Yeah, I spoke like 6 years ago or something.
Yeah, we were at the Pomodoro in Durham, Paul.
Yeah, she would make that, that's right.
You're on the cover of our newsletter that month.
Yeah, I sat across from a Navy veteran and she had just turned 100.
Norma.
Norma,
Yeah, sat across from her.
Oh, she's one of the ones who
Yeah,
started.
the first thing she did was go to the bar, get a martini,
Yes.
and then she sat down.
That's awesome. I
That's
love
why
it.
she was 100.
That's right.
right.
You start
And
that.
something else we do with Triangle Women Veterans, because I'm a member of that as well, Brooke. We welcome women to come to a meeting. They don't have to be a member, but they're welcome to come and meet the group and see what we do, or come join us on an activity. We do hold our annual family picnic at my farm, and we encourage our women to bring women veterans that aren't members to come out and have a fun day with us. So you don't have to be a member to show up at a meeting or to join us. I mean, we encourage folks to join us first and then make your decision whether you want to become a member.
And Jill, how can people connect with you to come out and interact on the farm or on your land?
They could either email me or call me. And a lot of times I get referrals where people say, hey, I know a veteran that wants to come out. And I'm just like, you know, give my number. So it's pretty basic.
No form or anything on the website or anything like
No
that?
form on a website. Just reach out and contact me and be ready to be quizzed about your service.
Okay.
When you get here, and make it worse when you get here.
And some of it too is, you know, once women veteran finds another woman veteran, you kind of travel in the same circles. So like many of the Triangle Women Veterans are also members of the American Legion Post 540, which happens to be the only all-American,
All women.
all women American Legion in the state, and now one of only 2 in the country.
Wow.
So, you know, we find one another and mesh that way too.
That's great. I feel like there's just, maybe it's just this conversation, but I'm gonna have to look first. I wonder if there's any services that are southeast of the Triangle. I know the very first female veterans table talk was in Johnston County, I think, or maybe it was just Garner.
Ghana.
But
Yeah.
there was a pull from that direction, so I feel like we're kind of more west. I'll have to look and see if there's any other services in that part of the territory also, just to make sure that we're covering everything. So if anyone knows of something that I've missed, Paul, I know you know a lot of the resources, please let us know.
I know we have the Fayetteville Diva, Beth, she's doing something out of Cumberland County
Okay,
as well.
okay, so that's.
So that for spouses and female veterans.
Okay.
So we try to, with female veteran table talk, we're gonna try and do the different regions as well. So we'll move it around as well as virtual, so that you can still tune in, but if you're local enough, you can actually go.
Yeah, that's
So-
great.
And Wilmington has a big group too. And a lot of the Wilmington group is serviced by Myrtle Beach.
Mhm.
And they have a
Okay.
huge women veterans group there.
Yes.
I'll just say, yeah, so if anyone is interested in registering for any of our classes, or specifically the women only class, the information is, registration is primarily online, so it's on the Joel Fund website through the Operation Art program. Scroll down just a little bit and each class is listed. And there are always scholarships available. And we just received a gracious scholarship from the local Vietnam Veterans of America. So thank you very much. But we, all classes are $25 for the session, and that includes most, if not all of the materials. So, if you're interested in coming and joining us, or have questions or any issues with registration, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, and we'll put my contact information in the chat as well.
And I think, just to mention on that, we're in between sessions,
Yes.
so registration is open. right
It is still open. There's a couple more days until all of the classes close, because we want to make sure that we're all set for session. So, classes start Monday. So if you're interested in joining us, please do so as soon as possible.
Do they have to live in Wake County?
Nope. Nope, veterans from all over who are willing to drive are open to coming into our in-person classes and virtual. We have classes, folks in Texas and Tennessee.
See the guy up there?
And in Florida.
He's in Florida.
Yep,
Bill's from Florida.
Bill moved down to Florida and is.
What?
Yeah.
No, he didn't ask
I won't
permission.
see Tank.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
You should have had to leave Tank in.
Our class has people from Tennessee, South Carolina. So I've just had to be a little bit farther away in Florida, but the remote classes work just as well. But I'm trying to figure out how to get wood carving and so forth remote, but I haven't quite figured out.
I know, that one's a little tougher, so, but for folks who are local and in person, we primarily serve the Greater Triangle area, but I have someone who just registered for metalworking who is out in New Bern area, so.
Wow.
What about
They
ages?
do know that they're
Yeah.
driving. Oh, wow.
That's dedication there, bro. That's cool.
What about ages of like?
It varies, with the women's specific class, we've had, 2 or 3 participants who have been taking the class since we started in last year, so, it's actually a mother-daughter, duo, and, I would say retirement age approximately is kind of where we are, but we've got some younger veterans who joining, younger, and yeah.
I'm talking about like somebody bringing their daughter or their child.
18 and up.
Okay.
We have Family Studio Sundays, which are for military connected families with children to come, on a Sunday. We're doing it at least quarterly. The next Family Studio Sunday is April 14th, 2 to 4 o'clock, 2 to 4 p.m. here at the Joel Fund.
Okay.
Children or grandchildren.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's a lot of fun.
So one last question that I like to put out to the group, and I ask this each time at the end, but what gaps or struggles can you identify that we can work together to minimize? I know getting the word out, we hear a lot like just about that, how do our veterans know that these services exist? How do we get them to participate in our activities? But is there something else more specific to these topics that we can share with each other and help you with?
So this is Jill. I would like to have a place I could go and see what's going on for women veterans. So when I have women veterans come to my farm, I can say, hey, did you know this is coming up or this is coming up? Like I think the table talk discussions that are going to be held, I know Brenda does too. We know women veterans all over the place. If it ends up in a town near them, I'd like to be able to say, hey, did you know there's a veteran tabletop discussion for women and would you want to go? I feel like we talk about it. I don't know what I'm looking for, but I'm looking for some place where I can say, God, somebody mentioned something about this. Let me go here and look and see where it is or see when it is. That would help me. That would be something I would like to see. Don't ask me to create it because I don't know how to, but.
Yeah, like a message board, one-stop shop type of thing.
The Veterans Bridge Home out of Charlotte, back before COVID started, this once a month email that listed all the activities with a link. It didn't put the flyers or anything, it linked to the flyers. And it would be so nice to have a page like that for women veterans as well.
Yeah, that's actually one of our employees, nonprofit, it's Aaron Harper.
Mhm.
And he's actually a one-person, well, with his wife now, two-person, unpaid nonprofit that he puts all that together. That's a great suggestion though, is can he filter out
Mhm.
or have a specific spot just for women? I think he'll jump all over. I think no one's ever asked him, that's all. So,
You're on that.
yes,
I like it. That would be great.
Great.
And I don't know if anyone has any information. We have not heard anything about the Women's Millvet Summit. Do we know if that's happening this year?
It's
Because
every
that's a-
other year.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
so I talked to Andrea Allen, she's like, it's next year.
Okay,
Bummer.
yeah,
We could do it every year, I think it's
for
research.
sure. But that would be another, Jill, another great opportunity to come together and learn about the resources,
Yeah.
available. So, okay, every other year. So we'll look forward to that one next year.
Hey, Brooke, you had asked about other opportunities. I know there's a member on my board that serves with Habitat for Humanity, and they're actually going to do a woman veterans build in the fall. I will try to get some information about that, and I'll shoot that to you so you can share it with the group.
That would be.
Do you know what county that she's with?
I think it
Habitat?
may be Orange.
Okay, I'm actually having breakfast with the Veterans Program person tomorrow for a week in Johnston though.
Oh, well, ask about it though. Ask them, and maybe they're all doing the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but we work with Habitat too, Wake, some
Mhm.
with corporate volunteering, but we could easily, if there's a group of women veterans or women, or just women connected, that want to do a build, they're so flexible. Yes, so.
That would be,
Yeah,
I love that
and Laura
idea.
Happer runs that too.
Yeah. Now, that the women are building it or that it's being built for a woman, female veteran?
Yes.
Yes
think
and
it's
yes.
Yeah, I think it's the team building it as well as who's getting it.
That's awesome. Sign me up.
Yes. Okay, Bill? Did you have a question or a comment?
I just had a comment, Vets of Vets United, who rescues dogs and trains the dogs and veterans together for 2 years training, and they pay all the bills as long as we got the money. They're having a 5K 9 dog jog Sunday, October the 6th of this coming October at Wake Med Soccer Park. And if you are a veteran service organization, you are welcome to put up a tent and have a table or a booth or whatever you want to do out there. We're trying to get all the information out for veterans. We have Paul is usually there with his organization. Yeah. All the different organizations are there. You're welcome to come. The Joel Fund's usually out there, but it's an opportunity to get your information out and share with other veterans groups. And we hope to have a good turnout this year so we can make some money and pay some veterinarian bills. But it's 5K 9. And if you don't have a dog, find somebody to loan you one, or you can run without one.
Or you can run.
But if you run without one, we're going to give you a bucket and a scooper.
One year, Bill put this in the chat, but one year Katie did it with Tank.
Yeah,
And Tank
2
like
years
pulled
ago.
her all over the place.
Well, the first part, she had to pull Tank. And then when on the last lap, he realized he was coming back to me, so he pulled her.
Oh, I
But,
think he's bigger than
both of
she
them
is.
had a good time. But it's a good time. Hopefully have a good turnout, but usually it's a pretty good turnout of veterans organizations. And it's just another way to get the word out. And a good part of our recipients of the service dog right now through Vets of Vets United, we have 100 people on our waiting list, but a good part of them now are women. A good part of our upcoming class are women, but so it's good that the women, for a long time, we've talked in this organization and so forth, but how many veterans don't realize they're veterans? You think about how many women don't think of themselves as veterans. That's something that I think we need to figure out a way to anybody that serves as a veteran. Even if you're in the Air Force, you're a veteran.
I'd also like to mention a different group that nobody has talked about yet today, and that's UNC Greensboro.
Yes.
And the library at UNC Greensboro houses the Women Veterans Archives. So they have uniforms, they have oral histories, they have written histories, they have posters, they have anything that deals with women veterans and the American Red Cross. Now, just a word of warning, they are rebuilding their location, so their archives are going to be moved off-site for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
So we're not gonna have access to the physical things, but we can still do the virtual histories. And if you just go onto uncg.edu and do women veterans, it'll pop up the histories. And you can read, it goes back to World War I veterans, their histories from World War I veterans on photographs, diaries. But it's just a really neat site. And once a year, they host a women veterans luncheon. And it's near or around Veterans Day.
Awesome, thank you. I would like to spend the last few minutes opening it up for announcements. If people have something they would like to share with the group, other than these great veteran, female veteran events that we've been talking about, who has something that they would like to share? Victoria.
The National Foreign Employment Center is having a job fair on April 11th. We have right now 35 employers and service providers. We are out of space. So what we are doing is doing a service provider table, and we would love any literature, any information. If you don't have a flyer or something, even just like doing a one-page flyer, I think it would be important. Last year we had about 135 attendees. I think it would be really, really good to have information on this resource table to add some extra resources for service members. Dress for Success is coming to help women with clothing. We can find something for men, we'll do it too, but it's always been a big hit. They bring their mobile thing. I've got some flyers I'll leave here. I'll send one to you electronic. I'd really like you to get that out. But I think it's gonna be a good turnout again this year. So
go ahead.
Yeah, Dress for Success, I don't know, many of you probably know Sarah. She just went on maternity leave.
Oh,
Got her, she's like, you caught me about 2 days before you're ready to have a baby, so that'd be good news for them. Back to the documenting about women veterans, just super quick, bro. Durham Academy, the private school in Durham, they will also take like women veterans, they do students, it's a project, and they will get the veteran's story, in this case, women veteran stories, and then it's submitted and put in the National Archives forever. They did it for me as a project, but they're specifically looking often for women veterans, someone who served Desert Storm maybe or something, so the teacher that I contacted retired, but he's still connected to the school, so if anyone ever wanted to do that, then Victoria, I'll definitely catch up with you or get you, that's always a huge event. And then the only thing I have for events is, and it's tomorrow at the Joint Force headquarters, is the nonprofit, the Sugar Bear Foundation is holding an event for caregivers. And I think, you're gonna go? Yeah, there's a bunch of us local that'll be there. And it's Jennifer, and just super quick, it's called the Sugar Bear Foundation because her husband was killed in action in Afghanistan in 2009. He was shot down in a Cobra helicopter. His call sign was Sugar Bear. So she was in San Diego, California, and then moved back to North Carolina and brought more of a local presence with that nonprofit. But her focus, of course, is caregivers, and a lot of us locally will be there tomorrow to really support her. And then the only thing I have is our NC Serves received a grant to do some financial assistance. So if you're dealing with veterans that have challenges around housing, rent, utilities, anything that's loosely associated with housing, get a hold of us however way, whether you use Unitas or just email or call me or Antonio, and we can look into providing up to $750 in financial assistance per veteran. We have the program from 31 May. We just helped our first veteran in Durham yesterday. It was pretty powerful to the story. I can't share it, but boy, is it a powerful story. Just that little bit of money made a difference. So thanks for doing this, Brooke. It allows us to do these connections. Thank you.
Yeah. I would like to share that we are taking registrations for the Durham Resource Fair. I know it conflicts with your Women Veterans event on Jill's event on the 27th of April.
You can do both.
You can do,
Yes.
you could go to one and then go to the other for sure. So we are taking vendor registrations for that. And then we are also, have some booth space for Memorial Day weekend at the North Carolina Memorial Balloon Festival in Lewisburg, North Carolina. We attended this event in the past and it is filled with veterans. It is an amazing event that is geared towards honoring our fallen heroes. But the opportunity to reach the people we serve was fantastic, considering it wasn't a military event. It was open to the public. So I went to the organizer and they said, okay, well, here's 25 booths. You find the vendors. So, which we love. He wanted it to have a name, so it's gonna be the Veteran and Military Resource Village, I think is what we came up with. Because they have a maker's market. He wanted it to kind of go with the theme. And so if your organization is interested in having a booth, please reach out. The information is on the Joel Fund's website. But it's a great opportunity to honor our fallen heroes, but also to get the word out about the work that you do. Brenda?
On the 29th of this month is the 49th anniversary of the end of the Vietnam War. It's considered Vietnam Remembrance Day. In Durham, we have determined not to do the reading of the names this time because trying to get people together at the same time is difficult. We just ask that if you're a veteran, you spend 5 minutes that day just thinking about, what it means to be a veteran, and the sacrifice that so many gave during Vietnam. If you want to go to a memorial service, the state Vietnam Memorial, which is in Davidson County, it's halfway between Charlotte and Greensboro on Interstate 85.
It's at the rest area.
At the rest stop, you see that when you approach the rest
Been there a
stop.
bunch of times.
If you've never been there and you're driving down I-85, pull in.
Yes.
It's worth the stop. It is incredible, but at 11 o'clock on the 28th, the day before Remembrance Day, they are having their official ceremony there.
Fantastic. Yes.
We're having a hiring and resource fair at our Lee County office. That's on April 12th. We're gonna have employers as well as resources. We have Giselle's joining us from BBH and Veterans Upward Bound. We're gonna have our clothing closet. The VSOs are gonna be there to assist with claims and answer questions. I'm married to a VSO, so he will be there. He will be there. But yeah, we have a lot of employers coming from all over, including people from Bioworks is really big in Lee County. So we have like Pfizer's gonna be there and everything, but I can email you the flyer.
Yes.
And we have that coming up.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's a great event.
Yeah, Giselle's awesome. She's so hands-on with us. We love her.
I'm just making my notes for my email. Anyone
Giselle?
online have any, Bill, yes.
I have her card, but it's right.
There's, since we're talking about women veterans, there's a woman veteran in Wake County. It's a hero of mine. She has done more for, she and her husband, who's passed some time ago, has done about as much for veterans as anybody in the area. Her name is Ann Capicelli. I think she's 101 now.
Wow.
She, to give you an example, she was an enlisted person and she married Omar Bradley's assistant, who was an officer. But they weren't supposed to get married, so they got married about 3 times. And the last time they got married was that Omar Bradley gave her away. She has buried 5 children and 1 husband, and she is a character. But to give you an example, her son was a Raleigh City policeman, and she volunteered right up until the point she was not allowed to drive over to the VA hospital, where he would have a patrolman follow her or a policeman follow her until she left Wake County, and then would pick her up in Durham and take her and follow to the VA hospital just to make sure she got there. But to give you an example of her, she lives with that son in Foxcroft, and she had a broken tail light. He gave her a ticket. They got to court. The judge says, Capicetta, that's kind of unusual name. Are y'all related? She says, well, he used to be my son. But she has been a volunteer at hospital. She's been a member of every organization just about. And if you are looking to honor a woman sometime, please think of Ann Capicelli. She lives in Foxcroft. If you need information, get with Brooke, and she can get with me, and I can get you the information. But she is a super lady. She's been. I'm not certain how mobile she is right now at 101. But I got her the Quilt of Honor several years ago, along with the veteran we just lost this past month, Norman Gaddis, who was a POW, Brigadier General Norman Gaddis. We lost, who was quite a special fellow. But if you get a chance, just think of Ann sometimes, because if nothing else, she's got all the good jokes. And but if you get a chance to honor somebody, I would appreciate you think of Ann, because she's a very special person and has definitely done everything that could possibly be done for veterans. Thank you, Brooke.
Thank you. Carrie, I will be sending out an email with all the information that we've discussed. Bill, do you have a flyer yet for the 5K9? Or will that be coming?
Yes, I have it. I'll get it to you day tomorrow.
Perfect. Okay. So I'll send everything out that we've talked about in an email. Chris is giving us a little teaser in the chat about an announcement for a home opening game of the Carolina Cobras on March 24th. Hopefully, well, that's not far away. You gotta give us more than that. It's like less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, so they're trying hard to get their program off the road. So they hired a new military coordinator who's an active duty service member down here at Fort Liberty. So it's kind of an 80 some mile drive for him to get to Greensboro, about 100 miles for me. So that is West Raleigh, I think, right? Greensboro. So I think it fits in our window of that we're talking about here. But yeah, we're hoping to get some information about getting veterans resources available on the concourse. So they kind of didn't know what they were doing with that. And so we do a lot of that down here in Fayetteville. So when we do it, we try to have like 8 to 10 different resources on the concourse and things like that. And then, people were able to meet more than one organization, because it's kind of, if you just have a nonprofit of the night, it's not that great. But if you're going to do a military appreciation game, have 10 nonprofits of the night. So we're hoping to do that, and maybe do an icebreaker social at Steel Hands Brewing ahead of time, just kind of meet up and meet other vets, and then walk over across the parking lot to the Coliseum and watch the game.
Okay, well, if you get that information, once it's together, send it over.
We'll do perfect.
Thanks.
And then also I'll do one more plug. So on the 23rd, day before, we'll be up on the Falls of Noose Road at CrossFit Suesponte. So this month, Vietnam veterans are our honorees for Team Red, White, and Blues monthly mission. And so you don't have to come up and do a workout. We'd love for people just to get out and get active, and get around other veterans and have a great morning. So if you're interested, come on out and see us, and I'll get that flyer over to you.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you.
I knew you were going to ask that. You were like, I saw the finger.
Well, I looked at Paul. I mean, that's close to where we both live. So I'm like, how have I not heard of this?
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
So send that flyer.
Yep.
Okay, anyone else?
We'll put the flyers in the email, but just want to plug again, our spring session 2 is starting next week, and a couple registrations end either tomorrow or the end of the week. So if you're interested, please take a look at our offerings, and especially our women veterans, our women only class is Monday. We have one from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. and then another from 6 to 8, sewing specifically. So, and then Family Studio Sunday will be April 14th here at the Joel Fund, starting at 2 o'clock.
Thank you. Oh, okay. You want me to talk about that?
Yeah.
We have, the Joel Fund has a fundraising event coming up on April 20th. We do a cornhole tournament here in Raleigh, and award-winning barbecue. Actually, the guy who does it works for the State Bureau of Investigation, and it is the best. I'm like, you need to do this. He goes, but if I do it full time, it's not fun. So, I mean, it is incredible. And then, games, and it's a family-friendly event. You don't have to participate in the cornhole. That's an option just when you get there, and, it's just a really good time. So that information is on our website, so.
Are raffle tickets still available?
Yes, Queen of Hearts every week. So that's what we have. That's another thing we have going on every Friday. We pick a different location and we're doing a raffle. We do raffle tickets to define the Queen of Hearts in the deck of cards. The cards are all face down on a board. And the Queen of Spades was found last Friday, not the Queen of Hearts, but I'm telling you, my heart dropped. So the pot is up to $3,200. And it's a progressive raffle, so each time the queen is not found, the pot rolls over, but you have to buy new tickets. So we just had week 4, so we're moving on. Oh, and okay, here's one more thing I'm gonna share. So Salty Turtle is a brewery. Their brewery is in Surf City, marine owned, and they have a Raleigh location. So that's where we did the drawing on Friday night. And this coming Friday, we're going back there to do a launch party because they have brewed an American Pilsner for the Joel Fund. So we got to, it's a custom brew. We got to name it. So the name is Easy Day. And it's because there's a SEAL team motto that is the only easy day was yesterday. So we've named it Easy Day, and they will donate $1 of every pint that is sold back to the Joel Fund, and they're gonna do it in both locations. So for anyone on the coast, I'll be sending out the information, Surf City and in Raleigh.
People down there.
There you go.
send it.
Yeah, I will be. And he said if it goes well this year, he might consider canning it for us next year.
Wow.
So share it with your networks, and it's just fun because it's Easy Day, right? Like, who doesn't want to sit outside and have an easy day? So yeah, lots of exciting things for everyone going on, and it's spring and it's warm and I love it. So our next VMFA meeting is going to be April 9th. I'm blanking on what the topic is, but that information will come out from Katie soon. So if you guys have any questions or any information that you want or thoughts on topics that you want us to make sure we talk about, send it my way. And otherwise, we'll see you in a month. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, should we do stuff today, or do you have stuff you want me to take stuff in the car next week now?
Are you there tomorrow?